Hello, this is Michael, and welcome back to the channel. What we're going to go over today is the Herrington compensator for a Glock. This particular one is their V2 model for the Gen 5 and Gen 6 if you have the correct barrel for that. And I wanted to show the differences real quick. I've had for almost about 2 years. Everything's clear. I had the original model, okay? This, after cleaning it a little bit after every gun range, has seen about 15,000 rounds. About 12 to 15,000, somewhere in there, okay? It's held up great. I've taken it off a couple times. I didn't actually even re-Loctite the screws, and it has been fine. I have not changed the guide rod spring on here, so it is the stock guide rod spring, but should I ever have had an issue, I did pick up a CDS steel 15-pound guide rod and spring. All right, and this has been a really, for me, it was kind of the gateway drug to muzzle brakes and compensators. The reason why I originally got it was because I was able to come across a fairly cheap Glock 19 threaded barrel. Now, I know I might get some chuckles on this, but this is actually a Bear Creek Arsenal Glock 19 barrel. It'll work for Gens 1 through 5, and it is a 1 in 16 twist, where most threaded barrels are 1 in 10, which honestly I would prefer. But at the price point of about $38 during one of their Christmas sales, and then I bought a second one and it was only about $45. So, in fact, these are both brand new extra barrels because I have two 19s and a 49, and yeah, so I just wanted to play with it a little bit. The coating, machining, everything, especially on the original barrel, it's been great. I can't say enough about it. You can tell if you're really finicky about it, the machine marks on a rifling, there's a little chuttering on the lands, but there you go. You can kind of see them there. So, but after about maybe 100, 200 rounds, they've all smoothed out, and they really did not affect. See right there, you can see them. Accuracy. So you do get what you pay for, but I wanted a threaded barrel just to experiment with compensators. Of course, if I was 100% good to go, I would get the Radiant Ramjet 100%. And I fired those ones, and those are great. Again, this was kind of the gateway drug to muzzle brakes, or I should say compensators for Glock pistols. And they fit up real nice. So what's the difference? Well, one, their V1 version, this one, is basically discontinued because they're using, I believe, this design for their Hager system, where that they actually have a quick release button to pull these off, and then you can throw on a muzzle weight or a thread adapter for a suppressor. So this, I'm probably going to retire pretty soon, but I've kind of just been wanting to see how long it'll last. The erosion here as the bullet passes the front of the muzzle is very minimal. It is occurring barely, and I don't even know if it's just maybe the coating is slowly eroded. That being said, I just keep picking at it. One of the best things, I'll usually have an awe for some of the tight spots, or I'll take the Glock disassembly tool and really just try to scrape away in there. So, unfortunately, this is not big enough really to throw down a brass brush to really get it scraped out, but this has been working just fine. So, if we go over to the new model, looks fairly similar. The big difference here is the top port is, try to get the camera to focus correct, a little bit larger. They did have a model of compensator that was so large that people were worried that the top port would actually catch a piece of brass. And so they went down originally to this size, and I think they found the happy medium now. That's a pretty nice front port. And then their side ports, instead of being this little window slit, which I don't know how effective that really is, this does have a bit bigger slit. And you can see here it is curved on the side. So I guess you have these fins for aesthetic looks, but you also got these fins that kind of drive the gases out at an angle like this. So that should reduce your in-hand felt recoil, and then this should reduce your muzzle flip or linear recoil. And yeah, so everything so far has been good. I haven't needed to change out anything. It looks like, I just now noticed, looks like they got a little bit larger port down here. You know what? Let's take this. I'll take it apart out of the camera's view, and let's see here. Yeah. So that's looking a lot better as far as they have the hole here, which is fine. And it looks like they've, yep, big time, they've opened up the hole here for the guide rod. So I'm guessing they did that so if you have an aftermarket guide rod, let's see here. Here's a single spring. It'll probably give you a little bit more room for a longer length rod or something with a fatter head on it right here to oscillate inside there without causing malfunctions. So I did not even realize that at first. So yeah, that's pretty much it. These screws here, they directly go against the thread. So I guess you could say that's a negative. But as much as you're using this, it's not going to be an issue. So there's no slot like you would have on a KMM barrel where these would come in and tighten up on it. But I have not had any issue with this. And most of the time they come already with some blue Loctite. Pulled them out, comes with the Allen wrench of course. Put them back in and they really don't shift. I tighten them down. I haven't even used, I haven't even tightened them down to their appropriate poundage. And on the one I've been using consistently, I just snugged it up and it's been perfect. All right. So that's pretty much it. There's videos online about how to time these and all that, but that's fairly easy. In fact, once you have it apart like this, you'll turn until you can get the lockup to sit just right. So obviously this would be too far out, and you're trying to find that perfect spot as you're twisting the compensator on there to make sure you have lockup. Okay. All right, off camera. There you are. Nice and tight all the way around. This is the old version and the new version, which is pretty much all you're going to be able to get now. And I think they've done a perfect job. They run somewhere around $80 to $90. You could get blem versions of these. This original one was a blem. I think I got it for $65. And then once I actually got on the website and became had a website account, but also I put in my veteran status and all that, I was able to get this one for $71. And this is new. This is not a blem version. There you go. Leave any comments down below. If you try these out, let me know what you think. I am happy as This being a gateway drug to compensators on Glock pistols. Have a good one.